Welcome to Cavan TV News and Views. I'd like to say thank you to Positive Age here in Drummully for the use of the studio here in Cavan Town. What can I say? Is there anything so sad, so devastating, that somebody who's feeling so low that they feel the only way out of it is to take their own lives? Well, my first guest in the studio this evening is an advocate for good mental health, and he came all the way from
Virginia.
And good evening to Martin Tynan. Martin, how are you?
Not a problem, am you?
Martin, you're a bit of a rogue on Facebook. You do have the odd rant.
Look, you have to throw in a few high balls to see who catches them.
Absolutely, but seriously though, Martin, we're talking about mental health. We're talking about suicide. What can I say? There is so much these days.
Yeah, look, it's an epidemic, and it'll probably get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. You could peel back the layers and say you could blame social media, you could blame drugs, alcohol. There's several things you can blame because it's just getting so common.
Yeah.
But I suppose what I'm trying to do is to get people to seek help. Now, I know when you're in a dark place, it's very hard to see who would be able to help you or pick up a phone, you know.
You've had your own battles with mental health, and you're really able to talk about it, and you talk about it.
Absolutely.
It started when you were young and when you were a teenager.
Yeah, I suppose, look, I'm no teenager anymore, I'm 51 years of age. But back when I was 15, 16, I used to get panic attacks, anxiety. I didn't know what they were at the time. And yeah, out of the blue, I don't know why I got them. It just was part of my makeup or whatever it was. I was playing playing football at Cavan, playing football at Romer. But I think there was just a nervousness about me, and maybe something that I seen years ago triggered it off, and from there.
But nowadays, in those days, that's not so long ago, there was no awareness. Nowadays, there are so many committees and organisations out there to help to make young people, old people and in-between people aware of mental health. I have to make a confession. I thought mental health was only if you had bad mental health. Mental health is your feeling, be it good, bad or indifferent. I've only learned that in the last few years. But mental health, bad mental health, or in need of care mental health, that's what we're trying to make people aware. There are organisations and helplines out there to help people.
Absolutely. Mental health, like I was talking to Christine from So Sad the other day, and we set up a place in Mulla, an outreach centre on a Monday, where we have 3 counsellors. Christine, she just mentioned that someone, they were in a marriage breakup, and someone asked, you know, would they be able to see somebody about it? The people have this perception that you have to be down on your knees and at your tether, the end of your tether, before you seek a bit of help.
Well, this is what the awareness is all about, to make people know they can reach out, be it just a phone call to start with, to get help.
It doesn't matter. It could be your dog died. It could be you're under pressure at school. Someone called you a name. You have a fear or something. Anything at all. It's just when you talk about it, at least you have it out there. Now it's in a private facility, so you know you're aware at a young age. You know, people might laugh at me if I say something. And
but I do think they're teaching children now in school to be aware of their wellness, aren't they? It's a start.
They are, but I don't know if children's minds are that developed at a particular age for it to sink in. I know when I was that age.
But we have had teenagers taking their own lives.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, you know, if you have awareness in school, sometimes your mental age, especially of a boy, doesn't develop sufficiently enough until he's about 24, 25. So if you're talking, I remember being at a meeting one night with the head of the drug squad, and there was another group there making a presentation, and there's a room full of people, and he said, "Don't look at that door behind us." And everyone looked at the door, and he says, "That's an example of if I tell 15, 16, 7-year-olds don't do that, they'll go ahead and do it."
Okay, so that brings me to the point, we are trying to make people aware of mental health,
We are, but
and that's why there are organisations out there like So Sad, and there are plenty of them out there. I can't throw out names right now, but there are out there to help now.
Absolutely.
But why are we still having a crisis of people taking their own lives? We are.
If I knew the answer to that, I'd give out the medicine tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it stems from home. That's not to put blame. I'm not saying we're blaming people at home, but because I have 4 boys myself to bring up. But I think if you give them a good foundation and if you have a good communication level with them, that they can, like if my boys done something, if they stole a car, I'd say, "Well, come home and tell me first, and we'll deal with it."
Yeah, well, maybe not every family can have such a good bringing and a good background, but still, my point is that we have to make everybody, young and old and in between, aware that there is help out there. That should start to work now. It wasn't in our day, but it is out there now.
Yeah, well, but you're talking about 2 different generations, Áine. Back in our day, I'm not saying you're as old as me, but back in our day, there was no social media. There was no, I have 2 phones in my pocket, one for work and one for personal. I can look up anything, I can order anything. I can order drugs on my phone if I wanted it to be here in 5 minutes.
I'll have some too.
I could bully someone on my phone. So what I have in my pocket.
Okay, so that's giving me all the more reason why there should be more awareness and more help out there. Now, as I said in the beginning, there you're an advocate for mental health and for good mental health. You saw the death of a very close friend, and that was heart-reaching for you. And then you've decided to get out and do something about it. Yeah. You're making people aware, and you're also on the ground going to raise funds.
Yeah, look, I consider myself very lucky. I'm an alcoholic. I'm 15 years sober. It took me 5 different attempts in 5 different treatment centres to come off it. So it's not easy. I know what addiction means. I would have went through a wall to get a drink. But I don't think in that way anymore, thanks be to God. But for people out there that is in that mental state, you can turn it around. Now, pointing the finger at someone and saying, give it up, you're no good if you don't give it up. That's not the way.
Has it come from within?
It has to come from within. Now, there's a time in your life when people say, "Oh, well, you have to hit rock bottom." I hit rock bottom 20 times. I don't know which one was the rock bottom, but I was so fed up of being fed up. I just said, well, as they say in the film,
you had to do it for yourself.
As they say in the film Shawshank Redemption, get busy living or get busy dying. So I said it's time to get busy living, because of what I was doing. I was a living dead, basically. So yeah, look at I've lost friends through suicide. I've lost relations to suicide, and see the devastation left behind that is
it'll carry on for possibly generations.
You'll never get over it. You'll never get over it.
So Martin, did you feel suicide at one stage in your life?
Absolutely. And
you're not ashamed to say that now?
No.
And do you think anybody out there who feels that would feel shame? Is shame perhaps stopping them from getting help?
It's maybe not shame. Maybe they think it as a weakness that, I have to see somebody because my head isn't as good as it should be. But I think, the more we talk about something and put it out there, the less it's a factor.
Yeah.
So like I could talk day and night about mental health and suicide and everything that comes along with that, but I think if you put something out there, it's the same as Ireland is renowned for as the fella says, if you fart at the bottom of the town, it'll be a bomb by the time it gets to the top. So stories around small villages, towns, they get added on, and it's the same with mental health sometimes. It can just gather moss if you don't do something about it.
Okay, so that's do something about it.
Like
it has to come from within.
It has to come from within.
Okay.
As I said, if it didn't matter who told me to stop drinking, the Pope could have come in the Pope mobile and I would have told him to.
Okay. But at the same time, it has to come from within to want to help themselves. But at the same time, there has to be organisations, helplines, counselling, facilities out there to help the person to help themselves. Now that's where you're coming in, and you've got a fundraiser coming up.
I have a fundraiser coming up. It's the second annual Walk for Wellness in Virginia.
And I think we're just going to pop that on screen.
Yeah.
Talk us through it. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, so basically it stemmed from our community, Virginia, and far beyond, after a friend of mine fell victim to suicide. I set up a fundraiser with I don't know if I can name the charity because I don't think it's a charity, but anyway, we raised 40 grand for it, and they promised the devil and all, and they never done anything. They never carried it out. So on the back of that, I made a rant on Facebook, as you said, and I'm not afraid to do that every now and again. And instead of that, I done So Sad.
Yeah, so you're going to help So Sad now.
So
yeah. The date?
The date is on the 11th of May at 4:30 a.m.
And that is
at Virginia, that's Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
At Virginia Rugby Club. Last year there was 700 people on the walk. We raised 20 grand, and it was a lovely morning. It was the first time I ever done one of those walks, and just the people were saying, will we have music on the way? And I said no, because at that time of the morning, and it used to be that time of the morning, I'd be coming home from a pub, and you could hear the birds singing. So that was the music.
So tell us about this year, the 11th of May, the Saturday morning. How do people join? Do they go? How do they enroll? Or?
So I have it on Facebook. You can donate on Facebook. It's a Facebook fundraiser. It's 20 quid per person or 50 quid for a family. But I also say, if you can't afford that, turn up anyway, and we'll give you a T-shirt. Nobody will know if you paid or not. It's more about inclusion and a better awareness.
And helping it.
Like if someone can't afford 20 quid, and these days some people can't afford 20 quid, come anyway. Nobody will know if you paid or not. And you get a T-shirt.
And that is going to go to So Sad.
That's going to So Sad, and it's the walk that we done last year was able to open up an outreach centre in Mulla. So that's what 20 grand can do for So Sad.
So well done to you, Martin. You initiated that.
Initiated, but it's everybody.
It's a work in progress.
When you start something, people just jump in, and that's the way this country is. They're very good to jump on board and help out, even making sandwiches or whatever.
Yeah. So Martin, you were telling us about your story and how things have been for you and how they are for a lot of people. If I said to you, Martin, there's the camera, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to give a heartfelt chat or plea to somebody out there, for them to get help. Like, if somebody said to me, what do I do to get help? Please help me, tell me what to do. What would you say to them?
I suppose talking to the camera, I've been there. I've been low. I've thought about suicide. I've actually been in a lake and come out of it on my own because I wasn't brave enough to go through with it. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same some days, whether it's through money, whether it's through drugs, whether it's through drink, break up with girlfriends, whatever it is. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how bad it is, how bad that situation is. Reach out. If you have a good relationship with your parents, or whoever you have a good relationship, say to them, and So Sad can help you in counselling, and you will turn that corner. I can promise, no matter how bad the situation is, you will turn that corner. And I plead with every young person out there, just don't be afraid to shout, because I've seen too many families devastated through suicide. Please, please don't. Please, help.
Well, there's nothing to say after that. Martin, thank you so much. You know what? If this interview turns one life around, hasn't it been worth it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Help us out there, folks. And, of course, Martin's Day for it on the 11th of May, 4:30 in the morning.
Absolutely.
On a Saturday morning, get your walking shoes on and, you know, join up with, what's the name of the Facebook page?
It's on my Martin Tynan, but it's Walk for Wellness Virginia.
Walk for Wellness Virginia. Go on there, log on to that Facebook page, make your donation and make a difference, because that's what it needs to help people. Thanks once again, Martin. From my heart, thank you so much for your talk.
No problem.
Thank you.
Cheers.